All right, we're back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. How's everybody doing today? May 31st, Sunday. Sunday, May 31st. On a side note, today, Benny Goodman would have been 111 years old if he lived that long, of course. Could have gone with a Song of the Day from him, because as you know, I like all kinds of music. I'm not today, but we'll get to him at another time. But we are going to slow things down on Sundays. We'll do some slow jam Sundays maybe or something like that. But for today, we're going back to 1962. Cory Hart has a birthday today. Everyone remember Cory Hart? Anyone who remembers music will say, oh yeah, I remember Sunglasses at Night. I remember that song. That was a huge song. Turns out Cory Hart sold a lot of records, especially in Canada. Born in Montreal. He sold 16 million records overall, but Canadians love this guy. So let's talk about him. Again, born in Montreal. Typical story. Starts singing at a young age. The funny part when you read about him is there's a few areas of his bio that could use a little more attention to detail, like the hows and whys, because these things that happened to him seems like it wouldn't happen to anyone right now, or just sure luck, or how does that even happen? So it seems that at age 11, he somehow found himself singing for Tom Jones. So how did that happen? No, I don't know how that happened, but he did. Then, sometime around that time, when he's still like a preteen, he sings and auditions or works with Paul Anka in Las Vegas. Don't know how that came to be. So he's obviously already got some kind of pedigree going on. He's 18 years old, and he's in Vegas representing Canada for the World Popular Song Festival. And then sometime around there, apparently he reaches out to Billy Joel, who's on tour in Montreal. So I don't know how you reach out to Billy Joel in Montreal, but he did. And his backup singers and band or backup singers reached back out to him, and they ended up doing some demos together in Long Island, which don't appear to have gone anywhere. But, I mean, how do you just call up Billy Joel and then get a meeting? Hard to say. So he signs his first record deal at age 20, and he manages to get John Astley as his record producer. Don't get confused with Rick Astley. They're not related, and Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up, not related. John Astley, very successful record producer. He produced The Who's album, Who Are You? Pretty big deal, but if you look up him, he worked with every major artist that you can think of in rock and roll. So huge record producer. He actually has a one-hit wonder, John Astley. I could do that on a Wednesday probably, but anyway, I don't know if anyone ever heard this song before, but there was a song that I really liked a lot, and it was called Jane's Getting Serious in the mid-'80s. Anyone dare to look that up, go ahead and look that up. But anyway, so it's produced by this big-time producer. His first album comes out when he's 21 years old, and that is First Offense. And that has Sunglasses at Night on it, which obviously, between MTV, his look, think about that. He was 21 years old when that song came out. So, I mean, that's just pretty young, right? Sunglasses at Night, huge song, huge video. Also has It Ain't Enough on there. That's a song you don't hear enough of. It Ain't Enough. A little bit of a ballad there. The video's kind of funny to watch because he's so young. But if you remember It Ain't Enough, check that out if you haven't seen that one in a long time. Sunglasses at Night goes to number 7. It Ain't Enough goes up to number 17. For that album, another thing that just happened is that John Astley, because he's who he is, thinks one of the songs is a very good Eric Clapton song. So he calls up Eric Clapton and says, hey, do you want to play a guitar on this guy's first record? And Eric Clapton listens to this record and says, hey, that's a song that I might record. Yeah, I'll do that. So Eric Clapton plays guitar on one of his songs on his debut album. Tours extensively in 84, 85. He opens up for Culture Club. He tours with Thomas Dolby, Hall Hall & Oates, Rick Springfield. Records another album, Boy in the Box, 1985. I actually like that song, Boy in the Box. It's a strange song. I can see where people just would not like that song. I think I even got made fun of for liking that song, but that's a song I really like. He did stadium tours in Canada. He won every award in Canada multiple times over. Juno Awards, Best Male Vocalist. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, he just toured extensively, but he did Europe, he did everywhere, Japan, but he just remained huge in Canada. I mean, he kept putting out albums. He put out an album in '86. That album irritated me because he did a remake of Can't Help Falling in Love from Elvis, which has just been recorded by everybody, but I just did not care for his version of that song at all at the time. I remember I do not like this. Another album in '89, changes labels, manages to win another Juno Award for Best Male Vocalist, starts working with Celine Dion. Turns out he worked with the album in '97 that had her album that had the Titanic theme on it. So he just kept doing his thing. It's just that he didn't really chart much in the United States after that, but he just remained huge all throughout the 90s in Canada. He steps out of the limelight, he gets married, has kids, moves to the Bahamas, raises a family, and every once in a while gets lured back to do like a benefit or something and sing in Canada. He does manage to put a few things out along the way. He also then made a big comeback in 2019 with another album, most recently, which I haven't heard before, but maybe I'll have to check it out. So anyway, that's the story of Cory Hart. Turns out he's been doing just fine. Little tidbit about him. They did reach out to him in the early 80s to play Marty McFly in Back to the Future. They sent him a script. Spielberg actually sent him the script, and he said, "No, I don't want to do that. I want to do music still." And that's when Michael J. Fox got him. So that's pretty funny. What are we doing for Song of the Day? Haven't mentioned this song, but you have to do, for slowing things down on a Sunday, you have to do Never Surrender. Great song. I don't know if you even play that much anymore, but it's a song that when I hear it, it's great. Actually, Sarah and I like to sit around the kitchen, sometimes the living room, and we each just play songs back and forth without telling each other what the song's going to be. And she played that one very recently, and we just went crazy because it's a great song. So anyway, that's your Sunday jam. It's Never Surrender by Cory Hart. It went to number 3 in the United States. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you on the flip side.